fresh into moose camp. We've got our wall tent set up. The Spud got his bed all ready to roll here. He's got he's over by his dad, and of course Papa's got a bit of more sophisticated bedroll here with the cot and everything. We ran into a slight problem. We ended up either losing a few poles or Papa forgot them, one or the other, so we had to
cut some extra beams here. It's no big deal. It's holding.
Okay.
Some caribou stew going.
It's just started up, but it should be good a little later on in the evening. We're just going out for our first little moose call. Besides some water here we've found, so should be a good week. Pretty rugged looking camp, but we're ready to roll. So let's get out there and see if we can't call us in a bull moose.
What are we here for? We're gonna get down a moose this week. There's 3 cows there. 840 yards. It's too far for us. Yeah. But he's a nice bull. Look at the pans on him. Yeah, I know. Come look in the camera. Well, what happened, Dad?
A good whack with the old smithy, and got a pretty good moose. This is the one we got. It's gonna have some good sausage meat, some good hamburger, and I think I can make some good prime cuts out of it too if we get it hanging. And we've got perfect weather, so we got 4 or 5 hours of good work ahead of us here to get it back to camp. So yeah, we better get started.
It's pretty exciting. Congratulations, Dad.
You bet. So I just spent a few days with your average woodsman, and we went up to a pretty famous moose hunting area north of the fort. I was lucky enough to get a little draw win and for a big bull, and so we went up and set up our camp and had a bit of success. This bull hit the ground last night, and we got it all hanging today and skinned out, and it's looking pretty good. A lot of the main work's done. Wives helped out, and they're going to do some grinding today. We're going to make a little bit of burger and let the big cuts here cool a bit, and
it's gonna be a good eating bull.
Should be pretty good. Lots of good burger.
I mean, he's a big bull, but he's gonna be good eating. For sure he will be.
Tape this puppy up 50 and a half inches.
50 and a half inch moose.
For this area, that's a pretty darn good bull.
That's a trophy for this area, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You don't get them like this every day. So.
It's a little quad palm on the front here on one side and a tri palm on the other. And it's a 9x9.
9x9. With
some pretty good shovels, and yeah, we're pretty happy with his bull. We got it home whole and got it hung up. Talk to you later.
just out here waiting for some geese to arrive. We don't have any decoys in our setup, but we're just gonna wait here. We're not too far from a lake, so these geese, they normally wake up and they fly over into this field. So we're just gonna try waiting here this morning, and when they come in, hopefully we'll get into some action, get some geese on the ground. Never shot a goose before, so this could be fun. Actually, I guess I have, but I've never really sat and waited for them like this.
Should be good.
That'd be good. I can hear them. They're waking up right now. So another 15-20 minutes maybe. Just gonna enjoy our coffee right now, and we'll wait. Oh, look at that guy. We got one.
We got one.
They're sure nice birds.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. It's a dead goose. We're gonna eat that sucker for breakfast.
Only got one. They were long shots.
Yeah. Nice shooting though, bud.
Thanks.
All deck, man. Got ourselves a couple of nice geese here.
That was awesome. The old Canuck gear works pretty good.
Yeah. Got lots of ducks and geese, lots of fowl in the area, so
We've got to get some decoys so we don't have such far shots every time.
we do. We need to get a little better setup here because, you know, the action is few and far between, and it seems like they're out of range half the time. So
That was still a super fun hunt though.
yeah, we had a few come in close enough, and we were able to take a couple. So
Had to run out onto the field at a dead run for the first group.
it's not exactly how you hunt geese, but it
No.
worked. We got one out of that fluff. So I might have to get a different choke for my shotgun too, because I might get a
Yeah.
full choke. I think I'm running improved cylinder right now. It's
That's
not really
why
cutting.
mine seems to be working for the longer shots.
Yeah. Mine might be good close. We had one flock come in right over our heads. And it worked out. Yeah.
That's a good day.
Good day. Couple of geese.
First goose hunt ever.
We're
Both
eating
of us.
goose for breakfast.
That's
Oh,
right.
Look at all them ducks.
That's right.
They're still out of range too. Okay.
I gotta go to work later, so we gotta get going.
Yeah.
That's a wrap.
Well, we're gonna clean these geese. We got them hanging by the neck. They say you can hang these by the neck for a couple of days if you want. Let them soften up, but we're hungry now, so we're just gonna get them done.
Well, we're not
here.
exactly sure the best way to do a goose, but I'm assuming you just kind of open them up a little bit, expose that meat. I did do one a few years ago.
You can. So what we do with Jarrett's.
Jarrett's is a bigger bird here. Oh, this one's quite a bit tougher, you can tell.
Is it?
Yeah.
You got the big.
Squish them up a little bit. I don't know. I've heard goose burger is quite good too. So, there's all kinds of ways you can do meat that's tough. Find the gizzard here. Should be a gizzard usually right in the guts here.
Man, these things are
You can
big
peel
and
it.
tough.
It's very in it, but once you, I'll show you how to peel it away. Make it nice.
Okay. That, like that on this side, and then there's a sack in there. And you just kind of peel that, kind of wash all that gunk out. There's gonna be pebbles and lots of like food in there because that's what the gizzard does. And then you just pull the hard plates out. I'll give them a try anyways. Pull these pads out. Just kind of comes right off. It's kind of like leather in there. Yeah, I think I might trim these up with a knife.
Gonna have to.
Okay, so we're just gonna debone these legs. Try and avoid some of the sinew. There's a lot of sinew in these bird legs. They're really not to be desired, but they are a nice chunk of meat. Okay, so we got our flour in a bag. We're gonna put some of this Montreal poultry spice in there. Put quite a bit in there.
Should have the other stuff in there too.
I think I'm gonna put some garlic in as well.
We need some salt too.
Do we even?
Then Teddy can have some.
Probably about good for now.
Should be nice and seasoned. Just cut this up. Okay, so we'll just shake that up in the flour and spices.
That's enough, that's enough.
Really good. Okay, now that our pan's up to temperature and nicely buttered, we'll just put our meat in here. Probably have to do 2 batches here. Just gonna fill up the frying pan pretty quick. I don't know if this goose meat can be gamey maybe, or a little bit chewy probably. It feels like it's gonna be chewy, but yeah, maybe that's okay. Okay, we'll save the rest of these for later. Okay, I decided what I'm gonna do here. I do this trick quite often with wild game. I'm just gonna put this lid on here. Sometimes it just helps it slow cook a little bit. Maybe turn the heat down.
Funny man.
And just slow cook it a little bit, and it helps to keep the juices in there too. So, okay, it's been on for about 8-10 minutes. Looks like it's cooking nicely. We'll just give these a bit of a stir here. Get them kind of flipped over.
Oh yeah.
Looks really good. That lid traps the heat and it gets it kind of cooking on all sides. Use low heat. I got it up at about 3. Looks like we're ready here. Let's give these a try. That's pretty hard to beat.
Carrot?
More tender than I thought.
Excellent flavor.
I can see that. That's my movie Play-Doh.
Some quality fowl, eh?
I'm gonna throw a tiny bit more Himalayan on there.
You know what'd be really good with that is some honey mustard. Put some honey mustard, and I love honey mustard on grouse too. A little bit of barbecue sauce mixed with the honey mustard.
Hey, master.
Mix it in there. Give that a dip.
You definitely got a little bit different on the flavor.
That's phenomenal. Just like eating McNuggets.
You wanna come try a piece, buddy?
Okay, I'm not dealing with this right now.
Definitely worth shooting, eh?
Oh yeah.
Well, we made some decoys last night. We got out this morning. It's a little warm this morning, but managed to get a couple of ducks and a big northern goose. So yeah, these decoys helped us out though. They're just plywood silhouettes. They got the geese coming back for a second take, and they made these ducks curious too. So a little more duck action this morning.
Okay, so today we're gonna make some goose and duck burger. We're gonna put some jalapeno and red peppers in with our burger, so it's gonna be like a pepper infused burger. I got my deboned goose breasts here. I got my legs and heart in this pan. They've been soaking in saltwater brine for about. What you're gonna need is now the sharp knives, some big containers. I got roasters and a big bowl here. I got a cutting board, and so let's get started. What you're going to want to do when you clean your geese, when you debone them and pull the hearts out of them and stuff, get the legs all deboned, you're going to want to wash them real good in the sink and then put them in a saltwater brine. I put about a cup of salt in one of these roasters, and I put about a ½ inch of water in there and just fill the rest up with meat. You're going to want to rinse this meat off now 3 days later, get all that salt off of there, and then you can go ahead and grind it. I already got my breasts washed off, so I'm gonna go ahead and rinse off these legs and hearts. Okay, so now that I got my meat into small enough chunks to fit in my meat grinder, I'll start sending it through. So I got about a whole pepper per goose. So here I got 15 geese and 1 duck, I think. So I got 12 jalapenos and 2 big red peppers. So that's gonna give you an idea how much pepper you need. I just diced them up. I didn't clean the insides out of them or anything. I'm just gonna send the seeds and everything through. That'll give you a little spicier burger. If you don't want it as spicy, you can clean the seeds out of the jalapenos, but jalapenos really aren't that spicy, so I'm just gonna leave them whole, and that seems to be you know, mild enough for anybody. I feed it to my kids and stuff too. So on my burger grinder, it grinds it fine enough that my BBs don't go through it. So of course there's going to be some pellets. I use BB shot for geese, steel shot. They won't fit through the grinder, so that's going to help get your pellets out of the meat. I usually end up with maybe half a dozen in my just in my anvil here, so that's really going to help. So let's get going here. Goose heart. Okay, I'm gonna try and show you what I'm talking about here with these steel shots. Sometimes they get wound up in here. It doesn't seem to hurt the grinder in any way, so I kind of like that my hamburger turns out with no BBs in it. Yeah, there's a few in there. Remnants, a few peppers. Yeah, there's a few BBs in here. You can see it's a good sized BB that whacks some geese. Geese are a tough animal. You definitely want to hit them as hard as you can. Sometimes even these big steel BBs won't kill them, so definitely gotta get a couple BBs in the vitals or in the head or neck or something. So there's 4. Might be a couple more. For the next step of this process, I use black pepper, granulated garlic powder, and Montreal chicken, and I just kind of mix in. You're probably going to want, if you use a roaster like me, you're going to probably want to put about a 1/4 cup of each per roaster, and just mix that in, and that's going to give you a nice burger that's basically ready to package up, put in the freezer, and then when you pull it out, you can just make your burger patties and stick them on the frying pan, and they're ready to eat right away. Otherwise you can kind of skip this part of the process, and you can just leave it kind of straight jalapeno burger, and then it'd be good in a stir fry or whatever. But I like it with these 3 ingredients here. You definitely don't want to put anything too salty, like seasoning salt in there or anything, because this meat will already have a little bit of salt left over from the brine, so it's not overly salty or anything, but it's definitely got plenty of sodium in it, so no need to put extra salt in it. So I got my 1/4 cup here. I'll start with the pepper. Gonna wanna, might even be easier if you have somebody help you. Pour it in kind of as you're mixing, but you can do it by yourself, of course, too. Put my 3 ingredients in the roasters and mixed it quite thoroughly, And I spent quite a bit of time actually mixing it. I think that's pretty important. You definitely want to get that seasoning soaked into all the meat. So definitely give it a good tumble. And especially once you got all 3 ingredients in there, definitely really mix the heck. There's not much you can do to get all the water out of it other than switch it back and forth from pan to pan a few times, and that seems to help get some of the moisture out of it. But just leave it overnight in the fridge and cover it up, and it'll be ready to eat tomorrow, or wrap it in brown paper or vacuum seal the packages, and that's going to give you a pretty nice product.